friends, it's Pat from Dancing Moon Travel with another episode of Let's Talk Travel. We are so glad you've joined us again this evening, and I am here to talk to you about our recent cruise on MSC Divina. Going to give a bit of a an overview and review of our experience sailing on the Divina. Now, I'm going to start off just by telling you what Divina is not. Now, she is not the prettiest ship I have ever been on. She does not have the most wow factor. She's not one of the mega ships that's going to have you doing wow at every turn. And frankly, she looks a little bit ready for dry dock at some areas. The carpeting in the hallways and staterooms, for example, we found it looked like it was a little bit ready for replacement. But having said what Divina is not, I want to tell you there are areas where she absolutely shines and is exceptional. And just a quick rundown of three of the high points that I think where Divina provides exception, and that is exceptional value. MSC and Divina in particular offers some great pricing. They're packages that allow you to roll in your drink package and Wi-Fi, provides even additional value, exceptional service. Absolutely, Divina is 5-star. Absolutely one of the best that I have ever experienced on any cruise ship as far as service and staff goes. They were beyond amazing. And the other area where I think Divina shines is their entertainment. Just really above the norm on most of their entertainment offerings. So, with that said, I just want to kind of give you some of the just some of the high points of some of the categories that we experienced during our cruise on Divina. First of all, this is an image of their atrium on Divina. It's several stories. It's lovely, lots of entertainment, always something happening here, usually some music pre and post dinner. And their famous Swarovski, I never can say that very well, staircase you can see here. It's a huge attraction on this ship, just a high point, beautiful, and it really is, and a beautiful place to have your picture taken. Just an elegant place to uh, show off and get a snapshot or two, maybe a formal portrait taken on that beautiful staircase. MSC is known for this particular feature on most, if not all, of their ships. Our room, we had a standard balcony. We were on deck 13 aft on the ship. This was an agent offer we sailed on, and so it was a guaranteed category stateroom, and they gave us a standard balcony stateroom toward the aft on deck 13. The stateroom was perfectly adequate. Lots of storage place, nothing exceptional. Our balcony was fine. We did like the bathroom layout, particularly. The shower was very usable, as was the bathroom layout. Lots of places to store your toiletries and stuff there. Plenty of space for our clothes in the closet. Lots of underbed storage for your luggage. So the room was perfectly adequate. Maybe a little bit tight coming around the bed, a little less room. The layout on the room has the beds toward the entrance to your stateroom, we kind of prefer the layout where you have the seating area and the bed toward the window, but it was fine. Just made it a little tight coming and going with making your way around the end of the bed. But room was perfectly adequate, perfectly in line with what we expect when sailing in a balcony stateroom. Service. Now, here again, I said, this is where this ship absolutely shines. Our room steward, Auguste, was so helpful, and he went truly above and beyond, helping us with some things. My husband uses a scooter, and as I said, it was a little tight coming and going in a standard balcony with that. So he helped us on so many occasions with that, and um, he was just amazing. And shout out to him. He is a credit. So a goose on deck 13, room steward, MSC, take note. He is a credit to your company. Also, Sorjana, our waiter in the dining room, and his assistant, they were just delightful, took great care of us. We dined at a larger table, and one of our dining companions, a young couple there, uh, she was a vegetarian, and Georgiana worked very, very diligently to make sure that she had something exceptional for her dinner each night with her special requirements. So the service folks, uh, in fact, we usually, when we get a very good service, we usually give above and beyond on the tips, and we know a lot of you do as well. But I tipped some people that we never have tipped on any other ship. The gal who greeted us in the dining room for breakfast and lunch, she was so helpful and so welcoming, and knew us by name, and she was above and beyond. And I actually tipped her. Somebody I've never tipped on any of our other cruises was just the person doing the greeting at the dining room, but she made an impression. And so that kind of gives you a clue about the service on board. Now, public areas, there are some fabulous public areas on board the ship. Those of you who enjoy a casino. Now, the casino on board the ship, I'm not a casino person, but there was a casino up forward. You pass through there on your way to get to the theater, and it is smaller than most of the ships I've been on, of an equal size. But people seem to be happy with the payoffs. I know a lot of people. I heard about the balcony, and so the casino is there for your enjoyment, and it seemed to be doing a brisk business. Another area that I really took note of, there were several pools on board, always a popular hangout. Two of the areas are designated for adults only. And I know most of our clients and regular listeners fall in the category. We do work with families, but the majority of our listeners on Let's Talk Travel are seniors without children. And there's a beautiful solarium area on this with a pool and several hot tubs. Beautiful hangout area on the forward section of the ship. There's also an adults only aft pool that I thought was a great hangout space if you prefer. This is the solarium area, of course, has a dome on it, which opens or closes, or the aft pool is open to the elements. One of the things I enjoy about MSC is the fact that their pools are deep, and 5 feet and deeper for the adults only pools. And I enjoy this because I like to kind of paddle around, and so uh, I like their pool layout, and so those are pluses, things that I liked, um, and just lots of lounges, um, lots going on, and so great choice, and great options for adults. There was a particular area, a couple of places actually, where you could get lots of places to pick up. Like we did a cappuccino. Got one of these almost daily at one of the places. There's a place called the Doge, where it's open like 24/7 to get, if you want a quick bite, a little light sandwich or a little sweet cappuccino, or perhaps an Irish coffee or something along those lines. They had light snacks and things, and that was pretty much, I think, open 24/7. So always a place to get a quick bite there, and just enjoyed that hangout place. I visited there several times during the cruise. So uh, the other area that I mentioned that I thought was exceptional was their entertainment. Folks, their entertainment is stellar on MSC, and particularly found it to be so. We were on a 12-night Panama Canal cruise, and there were, I think, six different major production shows that their staff did, and they were all exemplary. The talent on board was great. The energy level was high. They had an aerialist, they had jugglers, they had all kinds of things that happened during these shows with the singing and the dancing and these specialty acts that would make their cameo appearances, balancing, tumbling, all kinds of things. I just could not say enough about their production entertainment. Also, they had a couple of comedians, a couple of nights. Those filled in. There was a juggler, and these were good. They were solid as well. So I can't say anything but positive about the entertainment on board the ship. Now, food. That's always an interesting topic for most of our listeners. One of the things that we did was the chef's table while we were on board. Now, folks, chef's table was very differently done on the Divina than any other ships. We've done it on Royal Caribbean, we've done it on Carnival. We may have done it on Celebrity as well. I don't remember, but typically they will have a several course meal that is done with a group of maybe 30 people or so at some sort of venue on board. Usually not a typical restaurant venue, but Divina does it differently, and you make a reservation at their Butcher's Cut restaurant, which is their steakhouse on board. Folks, I have never seen anything quite like it. They start you out with this 2 tiers of seafood. It's like, and there were 3 of us, and they brought us 2 of these 2-tiered um, towers of seafood. There were clams, mussels, oysters, king crab, um, scallops, shrimp, any kind of seafood that pretty much you can think of was on these, and lobster as well. And folks, I'm just going to tell you, this was way, way, way overkill for us. This was, by the time I mean, we had huge amount of leftovers on the seafood towers. And then we had a steak entree that we really, ate maybe 2 bites of. It was way, way overkill for us. We're not able to eat the way we once did. Our appetite is much smaller these days. The food was very good. The steak was delicious. So if you have a huge appetite, I would recommend this. Don't eat for 3 or 4 days before you go in there, though. However, it's just so much food. If you love seafood and a good steak, great investment. I think it was $99 a person. But it was way overkill for us, quite frankly. But it was otherwise it was an experience. We were glad we did it, but we couldn't even begin to do justice to the amount of food that was served to us. Otherwise, food on board was quite acceptable. It never, I guess, rose to the level of what you would expect on Celebrity, but nor should you expect it to be. MSC is among the contemporary lines, and it holds its own. It's made great progress on the food front since they started out. It used to be an area of contention, and I have to say that we did not have any complaints. Every now and then there was a dish that just didn't quite hit the mark, but we never had any trouble leaving feeling full and satisfied from any dinner. I would say that they do have a lobster night still on MSC, and the lobster tails that we had were among the best that I have had served to us in recent years on board a cruise ship. Very, very good on that score. My husband ordered lobster tail. It's available as with a supplementary 19.99 charge every night at dinner if you want to splurge. My husband did so twice. I did so once, and again, the lobster tail that we were served with that, it's definitely worth the upcharge to have that. There was a very adequate two lobster tail portion per order, and it was, as I said, probably as good or better than any lobster tail we've been served on a ship in recent years, and that includes the premium lines, folks. Um, with some of the other dishes that I really enjoyed, one of the lunches in the dining room was fish and chips. Excellent, excellent. Chateaubriand at dinner was excellent as well. I found the soups and the salads to be very, very good on board, across the board. Um, they would frequently have a salad, an entree for offering as a salad on board. And uh, probably three different times, it was an interesting salad. And I requested a small portion for appetizer and was able to get that. They were happy to serve me a smaller portion as a starter rather than as an entree. And I really enjoyed some of those salads. A couple of them I love. Strange thing about me, I love beets. I don't know. I just love beets, and a couple of their salads. I know they're popular right now. There was one with goat cheese, and several of those that incorporated beets. I got them every time, and I really enjoyed them. Some of the regular offerings that you will find on, the always available menu. They have roast chicken, a strip steak, French onion soup, and a shrimp cocktail that are always available if you don't find the specialties of the day to, something that suits you. Weakest link, and I think this is pretty much true of pretty much all the cruise lines. The desserts are just not, they don't quite ring the bell. Had one or two that I thought were exceptionally good. Other than that, I ordered the fruit plate a lot for dessert because I just find I'm frequently disappointed in the dessert offerings, and I don't need it anyway. I'm much better off having a little bit of fruit anyway. Um, Things going on. I mentioned the production shows being outstanding. There are all kinds of entertainment always going on. MSC has a lot of activities, and Divina was no exception. In the evening, there's a disco, there's parties, theme parties. Frequently, they have their famous white party one night. They have the silent disco. There's always something going on. There's trivia, dance classes, bingo. Um, Lots of lounges scattered about the ship with various types of music going on in the evenings. Now, one of the things that I would complain about that I kind of thought was a miss on their part, we would attend the pre-dinner show at 7 o'clock most evenings, and that would get out about 7:45 typically, and we would want to hang out in one of the lounges prior to dinner. We had late dining at 8:30, and so we'd want something to do, just a place to hang out and listen to some music, perhaps. We found that frequently we get out and we'd make our way to one of the lounges, and by the time we got there and got settled in and got a beverage, they shut down and took their break. So it was just kind of a miss for me that it seems to me that timing these could be improved. MSC, if you happen to hear the timing on your lounge shows. Um, when people come out of the show, they're looking for something to do, a place to hang until dinner. Try to get that a little bit better refined to where your people are coming on when the people are coming out of the theater, and so they can enjoy a half hour of music rather than getting there just in time for the break. Just kind of an observation and an area that I think could stand some improvement. Families, plenty to do for families. There's an aqua park. There are all kinds of activities. There are venues. There's a bowling alley. There are video games and arcade and so forth. Plenty to do for families. Teens hang out. Kids programs. Our table mates had a 2-year-old, and they were raving about the children's program on board. Their daughter loved it, so they were very, very happy with that. So great ship for families, and great for those of us who want adults only things to do as well. So, folks, I think that pretty much covers everything. Again, if you are interested in finding a cruise that offers exceptional value, some great itineraries, uh, outstanding service that parallels some of the best you will find on any ship, and you enjoy great onboard entertainment, I highly recommend the Divina as a great choice for your next either a quick getaway or I'm going to say, well, let me fill in here. I just want to add something else. I eavesdropped on a lot of conversations on board, and I know that sometimes when you read the online reviews for MSC, it seems pretty. The negative Nellies are having their way with this. And folks, when I was talking to people on the ship, I eavesdropped quite blatantly on a couple of conversations. People were raving about their experience and shaking their heads, wondering where all the negative reviews came from, because people were enjoying the cruise. I did not speak to anyone who was giving a negative report. Everybody that I spoke to, and it was a number of people, plus just listening in on conversations that people were having, people were uniformly just very complimentary and happy with the experience that they were having on Divina. So I just want to throw that in there. This is not just me. I talked to a number of people that we were dining near, people that we were on excursions with, and so forth. And the comments that I was hearing, folks, were really, really positive. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Are there some areas where they could tweak some things? Of course there are. But if you're looking for exceptional value, exceptional service, and some of the best entertainment at sea, personally, I think you can't do better than Divina, and you can't do better at getting the value that they offer. The price point is beyond amazing, and you're just not going to do any better. Now, for our live listeners and our live listeners only, our giveaway this evening, I picked these up in the logo store on board the Divina. So I'm giving you your choice of an MSC hat. We have a pink one. You can choose pink. You can choose white. Or you can choose the good old standard navy MSC logo hats. I'm going to give away one of these to one of our live listeners. You have to be listening live only to get your name in the drawing. And if you could just tell me Divina, Divina, rocks. Divina rocks in the comments right now if you're listening live this evening. And one of you can specify your choice of which hat you might prefer to have if you're our lucky winner. Pink, blue, or white. It's up to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love having our listeners out there. Be sure to send questions our way. We are here to help you. We're happy to help you book Divina or any of the MSC cruises. We work with all the cruise lines, of course, but we love to book MSC. We're delighted that we have added them a few years ago to our preferred partner bookings. So contact us. I'm Pat at Dancing Moon Travel. You can get me at email at dancingmoontravel.com or give me a call, 404-735-5774, and we're happy to give you options for Divina or another MSC cruise, or, of course, any other cruise line that you may have of interest. Thank you so much for tuning in, and this is Pat with another episode of Let's Talk Travel. Tune in again next week. Bye, everybody.